Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Yeah! Okay, it's a quiet one this time. I'm going through my Liszt thingies, and I had the complete, Leslie Howard Liszt Piano Music Edition, and I've been collecting the Naxos one too, though most of that's upstairs. But the reason I got so heavily into Liszt, and I've got billions of Liszt scores, like the whole Hungarian Liszt edition and all this such amazing piles and piles and piles of sheet music, was because Liszt was a vibrato guy. And when I was writing my papers on, vibrato in the 19th century orchestra and its use, one of the interesting things is the use of vibrato on the piano, because the piano cannot make pitch vibrato, but it can do a sort of bebung like the clavichord did, and certain Erard pianos were made with vibrato actions that permitted that sort of quasi vibrato effect. Claudio Rao knew about it and talked about it. He was a pupil of a Liszt pupil, and actually Liszt indicates vibrato fairly frequently in piano music, which is really weird because the piano, as I said, can't really do it. But the interesting thing about it is that he does it also in his songs and vocal music over voice parts, and voices, of course, can make vibrato and do make vibrato naturally, and so to transcribe it into the piano works, which means essentially the same thing, is an expression of his desire that the piano should have this sort of vocal expressivity. And it's interesting as an exemplar of 19th century aesthetics. And of course, I wrote a paper about it. And it was one of the first vibrato papers I actually presented at a symposium in Italy. That was just oodles and oodles of fun, where we looked at all kinds of early pianos and things, and it was quite special, and I enjoyed it enormously. Anyway, so I got a lot of these Naxos Liszt edition recordings as well, just to sort of hear what was going on and see what pianists were doing, and along with the sheet music that went with them. So we have this is rather incredible. Bunte Reihe, transcriptions of Ferdinand David's Bunte Reihe, Opus 30, 24 character pieces for violin and piano through all the keys, played quite capably by Valerie Tryon. So this is fun. And, it's one of these, you get to know these interesting works. This is volume 14 of the Naxos Liszt edition. I mean, fascinating, some of the stuff. And the music is very enjoyable. And David, in his violin treatise, of course, has the most extensive variety of vibrato things that you could possibly do. He shows like 14 different gradations of it and all this. It's really bizarre. Anyway, we've got Liszt. What's this? Liszt 2. Oh, Roberto Sidon. Yeah, the Hungarian Rhapsodies. My favorite are the ones by Michele Campanella. I talked about those that were on Philips and are now on Decca, if they exist at all. But this is also a very, very fine set of the complete Hungarian Rhapsodies. And it's on Deutsche Grammophon. This is a Japanese reissue on 2 CDs. Then we've got, the Faust and Dante symphonies, along with Les Preludes and Prometheus. So we have the Faust Symphony is with Schulte and the London Phil, and the Chicago Symphony, the tone poems are with the London Phil. The Chicago Symphony, Schulte, Faust Symphony was pretty well respected when it came out. It's a little glassily recorded, but it's a powerful performance. And the Dante Symphony, including the alternative ending, which doesn't help it a bit, was the Orchestre de la Suisse Romande under Jesus Lopez Cobos. And they're fun. They're worth hanging on to. And what's this? Oh, yeah. Stephen Mayer in the London Symphony under Tamás Vasari, who himself was a Liszt guy of no mean achievement. We have his De Profundis instrumental psalm. When was the last time you heard that? And his third piano concerto, Opus Posthumus in E flat. And the 1853 version of the Totentons, which is quite different from the one that we know and love. It's very different. They're really two independent works. They really are. So this is quite extraordinary. Some amazing pieces for piano and orchestra that nobody knows. Leslie Howard included these in his complete works for piano and orchestra. But before that, this was a big deal. It was the winner of the Grand Prix International du Disque Liszt, a landmark issue and certainly one of the most astonishingly bountiful additions to the Liszt discography in decades, according to Fanfare. And I didn't write that. I was writing for Fanfare, but I didn't write that one. CD Review. Okay, a disc which deserves the warmest welcome and one that Liszt aficionados should invest in without further delay. Well, I did it without further delay. So there you go. Byron Janis, Liszt Piano Concertos. Oh, a classic. Absolutely a classic with Kirill Kondrashin and the Moscow Phil in #1 and Rozhdestvensky in the Moscow Radio Symphony in #2. And you also get a bunch of other Listy things. Well, some Liszt things. Hungarian Rhapsody #6, the Valse Oubliée. Then you've got some Schumann, the Romance in F sharp, the Novelette in F, and the Miller's Dance from Faya by Faya. The Petrarch Sonnet 104, and the Harmonica Player by Guillaume. So there you go. There's a weird collection of encores, but it's Byron Janis on Mercury. It's fantastic. Great symphonic poems. Oh, this is the LA Phil and Vienna Phil stuff with Zubin Mehta, which is quite, you did very good Liszt. You've got like Preludes, the Hunnenschlacht, the Battle of the Huns, Orpheus, and Mazeppa. Preludes is with Vienna, all the rest are with Los Angeles, and it's all just good, clean, trashy fun, isn't it? What's this? Oh, look! This is the Thibaut Day Liszt disc, which we already talked about in the previous video because it was already reissued on Australian Eloquence. Well, here it is on its original Decca release. Who knew? Oh, Raymond Lowenthal, the concerto recordings with, oh, this is great. This is on Elan. They licensed this stuff from RCA. You have Anton Rubinstein's Piano Concerto #4, Adolf von Hensel Piano Concerto in F minor, Charvenka Piano Concerto #2, just the finale. Liszt Totentans, well, that's why this is here, arranged by Lowenthal. It's his own version of it. It's quite sui generis, as we call it. And Alcan, oh wow, Alcan, all kinds of weird Alcan stuff. Oh, this is a great disc. Absolutely. And I put it under Liszt because, again, I wanted to find it, not because there's more Liszt on it than anything else. And of course, some of the stuff anyway was reissued in the RCA Lowenthal box. Now, we all have it. Georgi Chifra. Liszt Piano Concertos 1 and 2, Totentans, the Hungarian Fantasy, conducted by his son, Georgi Chifra Jr., who passed away, and after that he gave up making concerto recordings. It's with the Orchestre de Paris on EMI. The sound is a little grotty, but he's always fun to listen to. Brendel conducts Liszt. Yeah, this is on Vanguard, of all things. Alfred Brendel was always a Liszt guy, a very good Liszt guy. So we've got Hungarian Rhapsodies 2, 3, 15, 13, 8, 17, and the Czardas Obstine. 45 minutes of fun things with Brendel doing his own program notes. This is one of his excellent early recordings, actually. I enjoyed it enormously, and still do, from 1967. So there you go, my friends. See, I told you I've got some nifty stuff down here, don't I? And there's just so much more to list than the same old, isn't there? Really, really cool. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.